At this point, I hope you've at least heard of PewDiePie's Super Simulator, right? But seriously, if you haven't, get out! It's a game where you try to be the very best YouTuber like no one ever was. But this isn't what we're talking about. Another smaller YouTuber, Jesper the End to be exact, made a game and it's now on Steam for $5. And in this video I'm going to be giving a review and hopefully giving you a bit more insight as to if you should buy it or not. Onward! ZeGame originally began as a college project by Jesper that turned into a full-fledged game by the time it was finished. It now has an estimated 1,500 purchases. Now while that may not seem like a lot compared to Tuber Simulator, or any other game for that matter, we have to remember that Tuber Simulator is a free-to-play game while ZeGame isn't. The first impression of ZeGame to any new player would be its sheer easiness. The first time I played World 1, I beat it in around 5 minutes. A good chunk of my time playing the game in general was just listening to the gorgeous music and being entranced by the beautiful spaces the levels were set in. I mean, seriously, just take a moment to absorb them for yourself. And that's all I'll spoil for now, but man. Also, did you know that each world has a different visual effect? The first and second worlds have a fuzzy peripheral vision, and in the third world the blocks wave around, as if it was really underwater. I don't know about you, but I think that's really cool. Now currently I've made it up to World 8, which is pretty much impossible if you ask me. The last in the main mode. I played up to this point in a matter of a day or two, and I feel like this is one point where ZeGame really falls short of what it could be. Of course there were a few difficult levels throughout the worlds, but other than those few, there is second to no difficulty curve. Worlds 1 through 7 were pretty easy, and now you're throwing John Cena difficulty levels at us? Another thing that really makes the game feel so unsatisfying is the lack of new, exciting features. At the moment, there are only 8 functional types of cubes introduced throughout the 8 worlds. As stated earlier, though, this game was made as a project for college, so I can understand a little bit if they were feeling rushed. Not only that, the game is pretty unique, so they definitely had to do a bit of pioneering to make it at least interesting to play. The only problem is that I don't think it is, and to be honest, I don't have a solid idea as to what they could have done to make the game more player retainable.
But Tyler, if you can't think of anything to suggest yourself, why complain about it?
That aside, the final thing I want to go over is the level editor, in which you can create and edit levels. Seems pretty simple, right? Yeah! The controls are pretty easy to learn, and my only complaint would be the inability to select multiple elements for copying or deleting. After you design some levels, you can upload them in a level pack for people to play. You yourself have to complete them though. And of course, you can download, play, and write other level packs. So let's wrap this up, shall we? Overall, I think ZeGame has a lot of potential that has gone unreached due to the sheer simplicity of the game and the lack of features. Sure, it's a puzzle game, but the gameplay style is incredibly repetitive. Move the cube around, fail a few times, reach the goal, rinse and repeat. This could easily be circumvented by a story/narrative that would bring about new perspectives to the game, but ZeGame doesn't live up to that standard. So now the moment you probably haven't been waiting for, my final say. If I was to give ZeGame a rating, 1 being terrible and 10 being astounding, a steady 6 would be my answer. So unless you really like puzzle games, or you feel you can become famous by creating level packs, I would say you ought to spend your money somewhere else. Oh, and before I end off, I'd like to thank the music guys at Dots for letting me use their music as a background tune. As with any other game development company, they could have said no, or even ignored me, but they went all out as to contact the composers themselves, and they responded with a duh. So you should really go buy their music, or play their game. It's super fun. I'm at like 750 or something. No, I'm not sponsored. Okay, I'm out. Peace!